And 3, 2, 1. What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
In the House of Crazy tonight, we have Mr. Matt Forsyth, and we are going to be talking to him about Bound, which is 200-page graphic novel. Excellent read. You guys should check it out. And then we're just going to do a little recap on our experiences with our Kickstarter campaigns.
Word.
Coming right up.
Let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. The Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host with the most, said the Crazy Man, Vera. And I am what?
George, the Dreamer of Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. It is Tuesday, November 18th, 8 p.m. here in the East Coast, 7 p.m. wherever Sam is at. And we are coming to you live. So if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, comment, do all that fun stuff. Lou is in the house. What's up? How you doing, Lou? Yeah, make sure you like it. And make sure you hit the notification bell so that you know when we are going live. We usually do this on Tuesday nights. So check us out. But tonight we have a great guest. We're going to be talking to Matt Forsyth, and we're going to be talking to him about his graphic novel, Bound, which was on Kickstarter. I think it might have ended already, but if not sure if he's got late pledges on, but whatever you guys do, go to his Instagram, go to his social media, follow his link tree. He's got a bunch of stuff. Great book. I started reading it today, and I'm hooked. I'm hooked. 89 pages in, and I'm hooked. So check that out. And yeah, Sam, what you got going on, dog? How you been?
How you been?
How you been doing?
How have I been? I've been drinking. I've been drinking. So what am I doing? What am I doing? I am sending out the books for proofs, even though Kickstarter hasn't released the funds just yet. It takes another, I don't know, a week. It's like usually a 2-week process. But I'm sending out the proofs tonight for both the hardcover and softcover. For those of you who backed Forbidden, the proof will go out, and so hopefully it takes around 2 weeks before I get them in the mail. And hopefully nothing goes wrong with the proofs, and the colors and everything is on point. And then send it off to print. And so just doing that, I finished illustrating the 2 super backers. I got one wanted to be an assassin, and the other one said, "I'll leave it up to you." So I made him a mystic sorcerer. So I finished drawing those trading cards, and I'll be so all the trading cards are ready to go off to print. I'll send it to print when the funds are released. It's just getting ready to fulfill the Kickstarter in January and preparing to launch Cosmic Wars in February. So if you haven't signed up for Cosmic Wars, which is my sci-fi epic adventure series, sign up today. I'll send you a free digital PDF of the original sketchbook from that was I created many moons ago. So yeah, sign up today, and we're launching in February. It's going to be one hell of a party. I'm excited about this. And if you don't know anything about Cosmic Wars and you want to know more about it, join me every Saturdays for Drawing with Friends. I usually draw with Lou Pons and Marco DeFilio on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Central Time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's usually about 2 hours. Last weekend I did Gorf. Next weekend I will be doing Princess Reina. And then each weekend I'll pick a different character from the universe to draw live. And I'll be talking about some of those characters as well as just talking with friends.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was joking about it. I was watching the show on Saturday, And I think Lulu's in the chat. Lou is like the our indie comics
Bob
version
Ross.
of Bob Ross, bro.
Yeah.
Her artwork is it's like one thing, right? Like I'm looking at
Yeah.
this thing and I'm like, oh, this is cool. It looks nice. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Lou, like I thought she was done. All of a sudden, 2 hours later, she's added, happy little accidents and like all kinds of crazy things. And I'm like, this looks amazing. So
Yeah.
definitely tune in Saturday nights. What time you guys go live? 7 o'clock your time?
6 p.m.
Yes.
Our time, 7 p.m. your time.
Yeah. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check them out Saturday night between her and Marco, man.
Yeah.
Woo. Man, heavy hitters, bro. Heavy hitters.
Heavy hitters.
Marco was doing the watercolors for the robot in what was it in Invincible?
Invincible. Yep.
Yeah, he did the watercolors on that. And you know what I'll do? I like, and this is what I like about the show too, is like, so you guys, it's 3 artists, and you guys are kind of like just talking about just random things, whether it's the shows you guys are watching, whatever. But I love the camaraderie because at the end of even last episode, for example, Marco was like, okay, I think I'm done. The orange didn't come out exactly the way I wanted it to come out or whatever. And Lou, feedback. Hey, man, you know what I've tried? I've tried this in the past when I'm using watercolor. Maybe try this and see how that makes that color pop out some more. So like, it's really cool to kind of hear that, to kind of the back and forth again. And it's just, helpful, just banter between friends. And, you guys are just chilling. So very enjoyable. If you're an artist, I think you guys would enjoy this. So definitely check out the show Saturday nights. Drawing with friends. Very, very good stuff, man. Very good stuff.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because even when I'm tired, I'm like, oh, that's right, I got to go live. But then once I start talking with them, I'm having fun.
Yeah. No, it's an escape, man. We need it. We need it. And your cover, the cover that you were working on, came out dope. I don't know how more you've done, but
no, I will finish it this week.
Totally
I haven't finished it because I had to do the trading cards for the super backers. So I'll be finishing that this week. Cool. And then I will show the finished product by the end of the week.
Yeah. Dan, what's going on? Happy Tuesday. It's a safe hangout place. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. 100%. And I love how like Lou disappeared. Her stream went away, and you two suckers were like,
we're just
blah, 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 and all of a sudden, where's Lou? Where did she go?
I was like, wait, I said, it's quiet. What happened?
She was gone for like 2 hours before you guys found her, man. It was crazy.
We're hiking in the woods, and we're like 2 miles in, and we're like, yo, we lost her.
It was insane. I was like, oh my God. But that's what it is, though. Time flies. When you're having fun, and you guys are just kind of lost in your world,
Yeah, when we start, we look up. It's like, yo, we're 2 hours in already. That's crazy.
Seriously.
It goes by like that.
But it's always cool. And then I use that Bob Ross reference for those old heads. If you watched Bob Ross back in the days, that whatever time it was it 45 minutes, and that he would paint? Yeah. You really would be lost in that painting. Between his voice and how the soft spoken. So it's similar to that kind of thing, where you guys kind of just watching you guys, and you are cute. Now you're investing. You want to see how this ends up. And I was watching it with John as we were driving back from seeing our boy Joe Holly up in Elmira, New York. And we were talking about how, like, honestly, dude, like, and I'll say this about you, bro. There's a lot of confidence in your drawing, in the sense that there's very little second guessing. It's almost as if you already know what you're going to do before you do it. So there's not that much, sometimes when you're sketching and you're doing it, you're like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and then the drawing just starts building on its end, and all of a sudden you have it drawn. I'm like, damn, dude didn't even erase. It's digital.
Right.
But like, I'm damn, dude. What's up, KC? Dude.
What's up, KC?
Yeah, man. It was cool to watch, man. It was very, very cool to watch.
Yeah, but it goes back to what we talked about, because I was like, I had an idea because I saw that Spider-Man cover, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's like the kind of look and feel I want for Gorf, but Gorf is in the Arctic, so I don't want him coming out of the grave, but I want him to come out the snow, right? So I was like, all right, so how do I take and interpret it my way with Gorf? So I already knew the angle and the look I wanted. So to your point is once I have it, it's when I don't, then I'll use like stick figures to create the angle. but because I already knew in my head, I
see
knew
what you're saying.
exactly what the polls was going to, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it all
yeah.
depends on whether or not I have the idea already planted in my head, because then I'm just going to run.
Right. No, yeah, no, and I'm telling you, it was something that just kind of like I was like, damn, it's already he's already there, he's already doing that, and but it's cool because I like the fact that you guys, it's not like everybody's drawing the same thing, and I know you guys are talking
Yeah.
about possibly having the audience decide what you guys draw on a certain night or whatever. But I do like the fact that you guys are kind of just there, and everybody's got their own thing they're doing. It's not like a uniform thing, like we're all going to work on this tonight. It's just like, hey, what
Yeah.
do you got going on over there? All right, that's cool. What do you got going on over there? And so
Yeah.
it's very cool. It's very cool. Yeah, it's a fun show to watch.
Yeah, because she's like basically like digital painting, right? And then he's like
Oh, sports.
he's doing traditional watercolor painting, right? She's working off of one platform. I'm working off of another platform with a whole different style. So I think that's, you have three different styles, three different approaches, and and then and it's just cool conversation.
Yeah.
And I think that for anybody who's just an artist, an aspiring artist who wants to learn to draw, or people just who want to hang out and just listen to us while you're drawing, it's a great 2 hours to just sit back, draw, and just listen to the chat.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's dope. It's dope. But for those wondering what's going on with the shameless plug, so the surveys went out today, just maybe an hour before the show started. So if you've gotten your survey, please fill it out. There's going to be information that I'm going to need there. Some of the information is if you're a physical backer, your addresses. I need to know where to send this book. And if you're a digital backer, your information such as your email address, where you would like me to send the stuff. So make sure you fill that out, please, please, please. The sooner you fill it out, the sooner I can start sending all that stuff out. If you delay, it delays everybody, and then there are issues. Hey man, where's my book? It's late. It's not late. I've been waiting. So fill it out, and then the funds should hit the bank on Thursday. As soon as those things hit, the book is going to the printer, and as soon as it comes back, it's going to you. So that's where we're at there. Late pledges are still open. So if you guys haven't pledged to the campaign, please, check it out. Pledge to the campaign. They're going to be open for a couple of weeks. I think I'm going to leave it open for, and then I'm going to shut it down. Sam, I think yours is still open. Don't forget.
I shut it down.
Oh, you shut it down already?
I shut it down. I was like, forget this.
All right. So
we're moving on.
If you've pledged to both campaigns, that's going to be one of the questions in the survey.
Yeah.
If you've pledged to both campaigns, let me know, because I have a print that I'm going to send to you. Sam's got a print that he's going to send to you guys. So if you guys pledge to both campaigns, let us know. That's going to be in my survey also. So fill it out. Let me know what you got. And yeah, big shout out to everybody who pledged to the campaign. Thank you very much. And more shameless plug coming next year. So next year is when the complete book will be sent out, or will be given to you guys. So pre-orders will be opening up in my website very, very soon. What up, Rafael? What's going on?
Ralph's in the house.
Yeah, Rafa's in the house. So make sure you check out the website for that update. And if you sign up for the email list, or the email address, if you send me your email address for the email list, then I will give you updates on what's going on. I'm going to be doing something fun with you guys, where I'm going to let you guys choose the cover for the graphic novel. So stay tuned for that. And there's Ed. What up, Ed? Yeah, so that's what's going on. And don't forget that next month, December, I think it's December, second week of December, issue number 3 of Wonder Duck comes out to your stores. So make sure you check that out. Issues 1 and 2 should already be in your stores. If you go to your comic book shop and they don't have Wonder Duck, ask them to order it order the book. So what else I got? I think that's all I got for today. Actually, next year, dude, the first convention, I'm going to be traveling out to see you. So I'll be out Texoma. That's going to be yours too, right? It's going to be your first one?
Yeah, my first one for the year.
Yeah, and then I got to figure out I think I'm going to be doing one in April. I think I'm going to be doing Baltimore Comic-Con next year, and New York Comic-Con so far. So those 3 are the ones that I'm thinking I'm going to be doing. I'll probably be at Terrificon in Connecticut, just kind of walking around. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it is.
Yeah. To your point, I know that on the campaign it says digital backers, you get your rewards in January, as soon as the funds clear and it's in my bank, I'm sending all digital rewards out. So it'll be sometime at the end of next week, probably next weekend. So technically, they should be dropping into my bank next Thursday night. So look in your inboxes on Saturday. I'll be sending out surveys this week just to confirm your email addresses for everybody. But all rewards, all the unlocked milestone rewards that we unlocked, I think there's 4 of them. Those will all be sent out all together. So it'll be in a big bundle.
Yeah. Oh, and after this whole Kickstarter thing that happened over the weekend, well, yesterday, this morning, where it was down for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why I think sometimes people will send you the rewards right in the messages within Kickstarter. But then after that happened today, I was like, what if that was to happen? And every single digital backer who maybe just relies on those digital files within those messages, if that website is down, it's gone. So definitely fill out the surveys and include your email addresses, because then that way those things can be sent out to your email. You'll always have them. You don't have to rely on the website to hold that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it could get lost. You know what I mean?
Because we know Anibal never fills out the surveys.
Oh yeah.
Never. I always gotta reach out to him on Facebook Messenger. So, yo, dude.
Arelis in the house. What up, Arelis?
Our brother's a superstar. She's doing a signing at a comic shop with her she's be vending with her jewelry. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. Good for you, Arelis. Yeah. Congratulations. What now? That's do you know what comic book shop it's gonna
Pastime be Comics, I believe it is.
Pastime Comics. Awesome. Yeah, so you guys are in that area. Where is that? That's in Dallas?
That's in Texas, yeah.
All right, so if you guys are in that area, Pastime Comics, check it out. Go check out Arelis.
Yeah,
that's
superstar.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, hell yeah. Because they are Katie Kaboom, Katie Kaboom. Yeah, dude, that was scary this morning. I was like, we better get our money.
Oh, I was like, because I knew that they were having strikes, and the union or whatever it is, and they want more money and all this other stuff. So then this morning, I was like, oh, they got him. They got him.
Hey, got him. Yeah. So make sure you fill out the surveys when they come through. Get the stuff in your email. So provide all the information there. That's very important. We have a guest tonight, though, Sam.
Yeah. So wait, there's a question. Is this the most IPs that you both had running at the same time? You dudes got multiple projects going at the same time. It's the first time we did it at the same time. Normally, like he'll go on a season, then I'll go on another season. But yeah. Yeah. But did Mr. Sam? Oh, Missy, yes. So she has something that I'm mailing to you. I just haven't had it's in my car. I gotta mail it out to you. So thank you letter. But yeah, she really loves it. But it's been sitting in my, so it's my fault because she's like, did you send it? And I'm like, oh, so I'm gonna send it in the mail. I promise you. It's I always forget because I'm always stuck in traffic and then I forget. I'm like, but yes, she loved it. Thank you. But yes, we do have a guest. He's in the green room and there's no food in the green room. So
Matt,
again, George, you'd be dropping the ball.
Matt,
that's the one thing you got to do, bro.
No, it's not the one. It's the one thing I got to do is read a 200-page graphic novel an hour before the show.
But that's why you got the glasses, bro.
Right. Super duper.
Yes.
I read the future. Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah, man. You know, I got the glasses, bro.
I got the glasses. You hiding your glasses.
So, with that said, let's bring him in. What's up, Matt?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Matt, what's going on, man? Good to see you again, man.
Yeah, likewise. Nice to meet you, Sam.
Same here, buddy.
Congrats on your guys' success. I was kind of clueless. I saw George on JD's show and checked you guys out, and you guys have been doing this for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, we were there when Moses was around.
Stand part of the Red Sea. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It was crazy. But Matt, man, it's good to see you, dude. Like you said, I met you on JD's show. Had a great time chatting it up. For those who don't know, just really quickly introduce yourself to the audience. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Matt Forsyth. I'm the co-creator and illustrator and sometimes writer of Bound. It's a 400 at the moment. It's 400-page graphic novel. Just did a Kickstarter for the first volume, which is 200 pages, and we'll be doing another one next year for the next half. It is, complete, barring revisions and stuff. We did do issues for our patrons over the years. So we do have issues 7 through 12 done. We just gotta go through and put those finishing touches on it all.
That is some project, dude. 200. I'll say this. I was like, we were joking around about, I got the book like maybe an hour before we came on, and I was like,
Yeah.
to read it. But it's a quick read, dude. Like it really, sometimes you sit down, you're like 200 pages. How am I going to get through half of this thing, or even a third of this thing? And the book, like the pace of the book is so fast. It's well done, man. Congratulations on a really, really good book. Really good job. It's for those who don't know, it's Bound is a sci-fi horror manga inspired by 80s, 90s anime. It's H.P. Lovecraft meets Ghost in the Shell, and I think that's like the perfect. You have that on your Kickstarter. I didn't make that up. But it's the perfect description for the book. I also like that you sprinkle in. So between chapters, you sprinkle in like quotes. You have a couple quotes from H.P. But I love the quote from Mary Shelley because, as a matter of fact, Frankenstein is my favorite book, and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is my favorite. Yeah. So I love the fact that you incorporated some of that stuff. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, Bound. Tell us a little bit about the idea, what it is, and how you came up with this thing.
I mean, it goes way back to 2002. Me and my childhood friend Kevin Lill were both out of college, kind of lost. We both grew up reading comics. So we were like, you know what, let's just try to make something. We were both living at home, like right after graduating, and not really doing much, not really knowing where to go next. I was kind of, I always knew I wanted to be an artist, but when I was in my 20s, I was just kind of like wandering. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't know how I was gonna achieve that goal of being the artist I wanted to be. So we're just like, you know what, let's make something. And we came up with a basic idea. Kevin had a character that was a demon that fed on innocence. I had a character that had kind of psychic abilities, kind of an X-Men type idea. We went back and forth. It didn't really pan out. I did character designs, and I did a few pages with the stuff that he wrote early on, and we were just kind of, life took over. We went different directions, we tried a couple times to get it going, and it just never really clicked. My skills weren't there. He got married, had kids, so around 2007, I'd gotten divorced. I was moving to a different state. My friend helped me get a job in Albany, New York. So I drove straight there from St. Louis, and just started working that job. And I was like, I got to do something, and I had this idea that kind of blossomed from those early sessions.
Right. Yeah.
And I just started drawing it, and I had about 6 or 7 pages. That's when I met Therese, and she was aspiring sci-fi writer. And it was kind of the same thing. I was like, let's try this. And she was all about it, and it just came together. I mean, it took a long time, but that first issue it just clicked. Everything worked. Everything that didn't work before, kind of fell into place. Different setting, different. When Kevin and I were doing it, it was more of a contemporary story. But over time in my head, it just switched to, distant future, a little bit more science fiction-y, less drama, less horror. But and I mean, we've been doing it ever since. That was like 2009. I think we started putting it online for free for people to read.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, the artwork looks amazing, dude. And the manga, the decision to make it, have that style, was that just what your artwork, the style of artwork that you do, or was that a conscious decision to say, you know what, I'm a fan of this, I want to do something like that?
I think it's a little both. I grew up in the 80s watching anime and reading, DC and Marvel and stuff. As I got into high school, I got more into anime. That was like the early 90s. So that was like kind of peak, introduction to the West, like Akira and the Guyver and all that stuff. So that stuff really captured my attention. And I started reading manga in like the floppy form. You could get Viz comics like this. Back then, you didn't get the little tankobon graphic novel, and I don't know, it just captured me. Black and white stuff just really stuck with me. I don't know if it was, I was a big fan of Ghost in the Shell, the comic, and the film, the 95 film. And I think that had a big influence on me. I was a big fan of Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri and Todd McFarlane and those guys. So Image was a big, Image was blowing up back then too. So that was a big inspiration. It's hard to pinpoint, what exactly I was, I don't think there's one thing I could point to. I think now my biggest influences are like Akira and Otomo and his style. But yeah, early on, Masamune Shiro and just all those Battle Angel. That was another one, big one. That visually it appealed to me the most, and I tried to emulate some of that stuff.
Yeah, when I looked through your campaign, and if you guys want to check it out, you can still check it out because the campaign is still. I mean, not that you can't pledge to it, but it's up there.
Yeah.
And
I messed up the late pledges. I don't know what I did wrong. I thought I had it turned on, but
but looking through it, you have like a comparison photo from 2013, and then you remastered the book, and so you have a 2025 version. What led to that decision? Was it just you were looking at that older art and you were like, "Damn, I gotta redo this." What led to that?
I don't know, I think if it wasn't the first chapter, I might feel okay with it. But because like it's that first impression of it, and then it drastically changes after that. I just couldn't. I don't know. I had this vision, and I was just telling Therese recently, like it's just now catching up to, like, my skills are just now catching up to my vision, where it's pretty close to what I originally had in mind, and I wanted to see it all the way I wanted to look, and not that I'm going to keep going back and like in 5 years and be like, oh, a new version's out.
We remastered version of the book. Seth, I think that's the other character. I think the one that feeds on the innocence, right?
Yeah.
Well, look for that character. How did that form? Because it's a cool looking character. He's got like wings, but he's like metallic, and he doesn't have a body. It's just like a tail. Like it's a really cool looking design. How did you come up with that? Or was that Kevin's?
No, Kevin actually had a very different. Kevin, part of me still feels a little guilty. Kevin had more of like a slice of life kind of idea, where it was more of like a comic strip, where like the character was going to be dealing with this demon, but in a very like almost comedic way.
Right.
And I kind of steered him away from that.
It's way different.
I was a big influenced by H.R. Giger, and there's a lot of Alien in there. Good little Godzilla with the spikes and stuff. And, like I said, it's a mishmash of my influences. I have a hard time pinpointing exactly where. But yeah, Giger's one of my favorites.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. It's great. So how is it working with Therese now, as far as like when you guys sit down in that writing room and you guys are talking about like what we're going to do next? The experience with working with her versus working with Kevin, was it a big difference? I mean, obviously the story's different now, but like how was that experience working with a co-writer in a sense?
It's been pretty good. We don't butt heads too much. I'm very particular about like tone and like you said, pacing. Like you mentioned, it's a fast read. Akira is like that too. For those who haven't read it, it's you could sit down and probably read the first giant tome in like 20 minutes or so. It's very like boom boom boom. It's very like cinematic. in that way.
Yeah.
So that was a big influence on like the pacing. I wanted for a little while before I met Therese, I thought about doing it just visually with no words.
Really?
So
Wow.
I think that kind of played into it a little bit, but she's really good. A lot of the first book, the first 12 chapters came out of me. So I would come up with the pages first, and then she would take them. We do it backwards. she would take them and write to them. But I would
old
come to
Marvel
her.
method. It's like the old Marvel method,
Old school, like
Stan Lee. Yeah.
So I would oftentimes be like, I got this scene and I've got this scene. How do we connect them? And she would just like a miracle just be like, oh, we'll just do this, this, and this. And it would almost always work. And so like that's just another sign that we're kind of meant to be working together on this stuff. But yeah, she's really good at I don't consider myself a writer, so she's very good at writing the dialogue and giving Natalia her voice and making it worth reading.
I love how like you have the sci-fi and it's a perfect mashup like sci-fi and horror because you have that like that whole library scene, man, like where they're in the library. Shumi, man, Shumi, my boy. Like, it's funny how like that character's in the book for like I don't know a couple of pages, but you guys did such a good job at like making him real. So I love that. But talk about like a scene like that. Like, is that something that because I think that obviously it's the first book, but is that something that is that one of the ones where you drew first and then she had to go in there and kind of add the dialogue afterwards, or?
Yeah, for sure. We had a little bit of a outline. I think we outlined that first half that you have, but it did change over time. I kind of let go of you can outline everything and you can plan everything, but I let go a little bit of that control and just kind of not to get too metaphysical, but just kind of left it up to the fates. Kind of like I let things come to me while I'm sitting there drawing, and sometimes that involves like drastic changes, and I have to kind of go with my gut a lot. But yeah, she was really good about making things feel a little more real, bringing things back down to earth a little bit with the dialogue and what's said on the page. And
yeah, no, it looks great, man. It looks great. The visuals, obviously, you're doing all the artwork. How long does it take you to do a page from? Because is that washed? Like, I mean, how are you when you're drawing it? Because it's got the black and white, but it's really great grayscale, right? But like, what's the style that you're using, and how long does it take you to create a page?
At first, it was just like because I was working jobs and stuff. I just kind of did like I would just let a page take as long as it took. Once we got into a groove, we got it down to took us about 3 months to make an issue. Okay. So, I'd like to say I could do a page a day, and that's kind of my goal, page or two, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Like most times it doesn't happen. But I started off doing traditional stuff. I grew up before computer art was really much of a thing. So I would do non-photo blue and then graphite and then inks, and then sometimes I would add tone also. But I was kind of afraid of inks when we first started this stuff. I always thought of myself as a penciler. I wanted to do those like clean, Joe Mad or Jim Lee pencils. I wanted to have that skill, but over time I realized that I can't take forever on each of these pages. So now everything's 100% digital. So I sketch it all out in blue, and then I just jump straight to inking. And it's kind of like I was thinking about recently. I see a lot of people online, a lot of very talented people inking. They'll post their reels or whatever, and they'll do it very carefully and they'll get all the lines perfect. I don't do that at all. I sketch it all out, and I'm pretty sketchy and I'm pretty loose with my lines, and I'll go back and I'll clean it up.
No, I like the sketchiness of the art, especially on those fast-paced pages where like almost like that adds to the mood and to
Oh,
the
thank you.
scene, like the
Yeah.
sketchiness of it. You know what I mean? Like if they're running or something, or they're being
Yeah.
chased or something, like just the
Mhm.
fact that it's sketchy like that. It's really cool. And I love those two characters that you have chasing her in that first book, where they're
Thank you.
like they have like that it looks like they have like bandanas, but they have like the skull faces.
Yeah.
Like really, really cool looking. This is really cool looking characters
Thank you.
that you come up with. So yeah, no. And you know what? I should have seen, obviously you were doing all the arc, and I'm like, damn, this is really, really cool, man. I really enjoyed just looking at the page, and it's clean. It's not like sometimes when I look at something that's fast paced like that,
Mhm.
sometimes it gets a little confusing. Like, what am I looking at? And I think
Yeah.
that you do a good job at like keeping everything clean.
I
There's a
appreciate that.
scene where she's where like Seth is falling,
Mhm.
and in my mind, I was like, okay, he's about to fall into, because he talks about falling into the darkness. But
Yeah.
the cool thing about that is that the background isn't black, because that's what I was expecting. He's falling
Yeah.
into the darkness, the background is white.
Yeah.
And I thought that that was a nice contrast to do something like that. Was that just by accident, or was that something you guys kind of planned in the writing process?
Some of it is by accident. I go with my gut a lot. It's kind of like, does it feel right? And I know that's kind of sounds kind of weird, but uh, I think sometimes you have to rely on intuition. I have kind of a design background. Like I said, in my 20s, like, I started experimenting in other art forms. In high school, I was really into comics, and like it was like, oh, I'm going to draw comics. But then as I got older, I took graphic design classes, I took video classes, I took sound design, I majored in animation. So
Okay.
like, I think all that stuff comes into play.
Yeah.
I think it helps me a lot with laying out pages and really giving it a dramatic feel.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine, somebody who actually had just finished his Kickstarter, Elliot Mundry. He's got a book called You Never Know, and he's a writer. He was talking about not being afraid of the silent page, right? Sometimes as creators and as comic book artists and as comic book creators, we want to fill the page with words because it's like people got to read. And sometimes it's cool just to have a blank page and just letting whatever's on the page kind of guide you through it. But see, that takes a lot of, like you said, design skill and
Mhm.
and the knowledge of like storytelling and just sequential art, so
Yeah.
that the audience doesn't get confused, because the words aren't there to guide you. It's the artwork that has to guide you. So the fact that you have a design background makes a lot of sense, especially with those covers too, man. Like
Oh,
those covers
thanks.
are really, really nice covers.
Thank you. Yeah, I put a lot of time into learning, like early 2000s, seeing like Art Germ and some of the other like deviant art people back in the day. That stuff, I was like, I gotta know how to do this stuff. And I started learning how to digital paint on a old Intuos 3 Wacom tablet. Didn't have I had to look at the screen and use my hand off screen, and
Oh man.
it was a big steep learning curve, but I think it helped me out. I think it helped both my traditional skills and my digital skills. They kind of helped each
Dude,
other.
it's crazy how much that's changed, right, Sam? Because like didn't you use something like that too when you used to draw? Like, I feel like the advances in like the art and the digital art is insane. How
Yeah.
much we've advanced.
I used to hate having to draw on a tablet that didn't have a screen. It was just you had to look at the screen and draw in your hands, like the hand
Yeah.
icon. Drove me nuts. And, so they made it possible to see it on the screen. I was all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll see somebody that like I really admire and they're using one of those, and I'm like, geez, still.
So primitive.
That is insane, man. So how far along are you now? It's a 400-page, graphic novel, the second volume, I would say. So how far are you guys along on that second volume of the book?
Yeah, like I said, it's that part's done, besides the revisions that I need to make. So, there were some pages. We tried to, because we have a Patreon too, we did our best to, respect people and not be like, oh yeah, 6 months from now you'll see another page or something. Because early on, that's kind of how it was. It was like, working a job and doing what we could, the best we could.
Yeah.
I think being accountable to people can be helpful. So we're done with it, but there still needs to be some things need to be fixed, because it was like, I know this isn't right, but I'm going to put it out so people can read it at least and get the story going. The story is not going to change. Therese said she fixed some stuff grammatically, but I don't anticipate any major changes to dialogue or story. There might be a few words here and there, but yeah.
Cool. And you're trying to put that out for next year, the Kickstarter for that.
Yeah. I'm the next few months, I'm just working on the remaster, and I'm trying to get back in the groove of that, because this is my first Kickstarter, our first Kickstarter, and it took a lot out of me. And I animated the trailer, and so I went maybe too far into it, but I don't know how we're gonna top that. But
right. Yeah. No, you're gonna have to have live action stuff going on. No, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. So the is it an ongoing series, or is that second volume? That's it. That's where the story ends.
That could be where the story ends. That was always the kind of the plan. It was like I like things to end. So it was kind of we'll just do this, see what happens. But Teresa's she by the end of the year, she's going to have a full outline. So we're doing it the more proper way next time. She's writing it and I'm going to draw it.
Right.
She's taking the lead a little bit. It's going to come more from her than it did from me. I'm sure there'll be some back and forth and some give and take there, but she's got another 12 issues or so planned out. So see where it takes us.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, listen, Matt, when you guys are ready to start promoting that thing, let us know. I think you still have the link. You may be able to just book yourself for next year, and then
for sure.
Come on, man. Come on and let's talk about
it. I appreciate you guys having me on. I started following you. It's hard to it's a double-edged sword with all this stuff. You want to be up with everybody and support everyone, and like I want to back everyone's Kickstarter, but at the same time I gotta tear myself away from the internet and put myself in isolation a little bit. And
yeah. No, I totally get it, man. Totally get it. When it's time to create, you want to just be able to just do what you got to do.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I didn't even know about Sam's Kickstarter. I would have backed it, but saw it too late. But yeah, you guys are doing great work, and I'm looking forward to reading what you guys are doing.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I'm looking forward. To finishing up the Bound. I'm up to page 90. So I'm telling you, I got through it, man. I'm on chapter 4. Let's see what happens next. Nah, man. So for those watching, make sure you follow Matt. Matt. The links are going to be they're obviously in the chat, but they're also going to be in the show notes. So make sure you give them a follow, and then, like I said, man, next year when you're ready to come on and talk about it, let's do it.
Hell yeah, guys! I appreciate it.
Awesome. Man.
Good luck with everything you guys are doing too. Congrats on your Kickstarters, and
thank you, man.
Continued success in your podcast and stuff. I could tell when George started talking on JD's, I was like, this guy has some stage presence. You're very eloquent speaker, which I feel like I'm the opposite of that. So
nah, dude, get out of here. Between my, you know what I'm saying?
I knew right away, like this guy, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, we sent him to finishing school, so
yeah. I couldn't talk. Sam, you don't know about Sam, man, but you'll find out. Matt, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Come back anytime, and man, thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
You got it, brother. All right, so links are in the chat. His IG and Facebook links are in the chat. It's also in the summary. So go and check it out. Really talented stuff. Great stuff.
Dude.
Great stuff.
Beautiful book. It's if you guys are into the whole manga look at the book, it's beautiful. It really
is.
It's
fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I think I showed one of the covers. Yeah, there.
Yeah. Really dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely check him out, and can't wait to have him back to talk about the second half of the book.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Sam, what are you doing? Nothing this year. Next year we start off at the Texoma, right?
I got three things lined up for next year. I got an LCS, Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah. All
I
right.
have LitCon. I'll be
Yeah,
doing my
Leo.
third appearance at LitCon,
Uh-huh.
and I'll be at Texoma Comic Con.
So what did you learn, bro, from the campaign this time around? It was a different campaign because it wasn't duty, it was something completely different. So what were some of the pros, some of the cons? What were some of the things that you're like, maybe I should have done this, or or
The turnout wasn't what I expected. I thought it was going to be more because there were at least over 50 people who signed up to watch it, but didn't actually pull the trigger. So they didn't come through at the last minute to pledge. So that surprised me because usually on the last day, you get about 10 more that, they're like, all right, I'm waiting for the last day because I want, it to go through on my credit card immediately. They didn't show through. So that surprised me the most. I knew that the sticker price was going to scare some people, but that included the shipping and everything was in the cost. So whatever you saw was the price, was everything. That was the shipping cost. That was everything. So yeah, I think what surprised me the most was the turnout. Well, also I realized that I started seeing posts that I posted show up now.
I saw one today.
Yeah, that I
saw one
I was
today.
like, so the algorithms are not working in my favor. I realized that Facebook ads is a waste of time and waste of money, because all it does is show that you're getting likes or views, but they're not converting. So so I think I think it's bullshit. I think Facebook is just taking your money. They want you to spend a certain amount in order to get a return on your investment. So Facebook ads, I won't be doing that again. And so yeah, and I think that because it was a fantasy book, I got to find out more creative ways to reach that audience of that genre. But yeah, I think that the surprising part was not only that. The surprising part there was also a couple of things that's really, I guess, frustrating. There was at least a dozen people that were like, "Yo, when are you gonna bring that forbidden book? When are you gonna bring it?" And I was like, "Yo, it's now available on Kickstarter." I sent them the links, and they went dark on me. Right? So I said, "Don't tell me, because it's a good thing to say. Just So I think that those were the things for me. I think for the most part, I did my job. Right? So I promoted it everywhere. I mean, I ran ads. I had it on about 17 different platforms. I did videos. I did, whatever. So I did that part. I just think, I don't know. With this campaign, it was successful. It was a successful campaign, but I felt like Forbidden deserved to have done a lot better than it would have. I was pleased that we overachieved the funding goal. Yeah, I just think the turnout was what surprised me the most. That was it.
Yeah. I think for me, I think that because I gambled a little bit, and it was all right. I kind of competed with myself, and it was in this way. I had the Kickstarter going, but I also had my website open for pre-orders. And right off the bat, originally my funding goal was going to be about $1,000 because for the printing and all that, and for the shipping. But I lowered it because I had the pre-orders on my website. And so I felt like, man, that's gonna hurt, the pledges. And it didn't hurt the pledges, but it helped out on my to have my website, because when I was at New York Comic Con, and that was like what really opened up my eyes to this. When people would come up to the table and I'd be like, "Oh, I have a Kickstarter," and I'd ask them, "Do you know what? Are you familiar with Kickstarter?" And a lot of people were like, "No, I'm not. Like, I don't what is that kind of thing?" So I was like, all right, you know what? Never mind that. If you want the book, you can pre-order it right now on my website. And a lot of people just went to my website and pre-ordered the book there, or went home later on that day and pre-ordered it from their home or wherever they were. So to have those two things, I think is an important thing. Just that option to use our websites. We spend so much money on these websites to just have them there, for the year or whatever, and we don't use them for that kind of stuff. And I think we should, right? We should, if you're paying for a website and you're paying for an e-commerce website, especially, use that option. So it worked out in my favor. And I think that I'm going to get, even like for the graphic novel, when it comes out, I'm not going on Kickstarter. I'm just going to go to my website. I just have pre-orders open and do things similar to, you know, how we did on pre-order. Now, the big thing though is delivering. So because they ordered it through my website, once that graphic novel is done, I got to ship that thing out. Because if I don't, then it just looks like a scam. Like, what the hell did I just do? I knew I shouldn't have ordered from some random website that I don't know anything about. So the follow through is very important. But yeah, no, I think that was the biggest lesson for me, is use everything available. Because to Raphael's point, Kickstarter isn't what it was a couple years ago, 3-4
No,
years
because I was during the interview, I was looking at Kickstarter. There's a lot of campaigns right now. One, we know a bunch of guys that didn't fund, right? And this past 2 months. And then there's a lot of campaigns that are ending in the next 24 hours or the next 3 days, and they're nowhere near funding. So I think a lot of it has to also do with the fact that you have that strike on Kickstarter too. So the algorithm's not working in your favor as well, unless you got some huge backing. But there's a lot of variables and a lot of things to consider.
Tons, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, yo, dude, this weekend alone, there were like 4 or 5 conventions. People are out again. People are out. They're not, you know, Kickstarter, to me, Kickstarter was great when you couldn't go anywhere. So you had to order everything online, and Kickstarter was a great way to order a bunch of these books to come to your house and read some stuff. But once everything opened up and conventions are open now, people are just going to conventions. And if you want to buy an indie book, if you want to buy anything, you just go to the convention and pick it up there. Why am I going to wait 3 or 4 months for a book that may never come? And that's the other thing. You know, some people don't fulfill. And once that starts happening, you know, it's just double whammy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was at 2 different, exactly, Raph. I saw you. He was in Jersey. What was the other one? I know you were in Jersey. You were in one, maybe they were both in Jersey. I was up in upstate New York in Elmira. We were visiting our buddy Joe Holly. We were there, and that was a good convention. That was packed with people. Then there was one in PA that Rob Multari was at. They were out at another convention in PA. Big shout out to Rob. And Long Island is Extravacon. Look at that. So, you know, the full, cons everywhere, dude. So if you want to go pick up some indie books, you just go to the con. Let me see where this guy's going to be at, or this woman's going to be at, or whatever, this creator, and let me go pick up some books. So we can't just rely on the Kickstarters anymore. And Kickstarter's tough, bro. That thing is a monster trying to, beat the algorithms and stuff,
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, I was looking at a bunch of campaigns also today that they have campaign we love or project we love, but they're nowhere near funding and they're about to end, right? So that doesn't even guarantee anything, right? So I think it goes back to, yes, you got to connect with the public. You have to find other ways to connect with the public. I think that's the biggest key. It's finding new creative ways to connect with as many people as possible to get the word out about your project. That's basically it. Kickstarter is just a tool. It's one method. I think, it was smart of you to use your website for pre-orders. Taking that when I get to Texoma Comic-Con as an option. Look, you can order it on Kickstarter, or you can just order it right now through my website. Boom.
They're great.
I think that was a good idea. But you got to find various means to do it. But yeah, I think that was it. I mean, even like with Cosmic Wars now, the live streams, the drawing, I'm working on some other, on top of drawing with friends. I'm going to do some things where I talk about each character and I draw them, and I'm going to post them on shorts and reels to get them out there and just try to connect and find that audience again. And I have to go back and reinvest in my vlogs because I have like 6 videos that I haven't finished editing for the vlogs, and that helped me build and cultivate a fan base from that, but I haven't done it in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, for sure. Right. We have a lot of creators on the show, and they have been getting stuck a little at the funding. They might get a bit further, but not by much.
Yeah.
Connecting with the public definitely sounds like the hardest part, especially since social media isn't reliable. It's really not. Yeah, it's better to hit the cons for that. Man, the cons is a great place to do that. Your local comic book shop is a great place to do that. Like you said, like having, book signings and stuff like that. Like I had my book signing for Wonder Dog in October, and the turnout was great. And that's face to face with your
Yes.
fans. I was there when the second issue was being released. I stopped into the store just to pick up a couple of books, and some of the people that bought the first issue were there, and they were like, "Hey man, what's going on? Are you doing another signing?" And I'm like, no, but the books will be here." And so they picked up their books. Some of them put them in their pull list. So I think it's important to get out to the stores, get out to the cons,
Yeah.
get out to, street fairs, libraries, whatever. I think being somebody that people can see and, oh, this guy's real is important, especially for us, because nobody knows who we are. Like, you know what I mean? You have to get out there. You have to, right. Library events for sure. So yeah, man. I mean, you live and you learn. But you can't stop, right? Like we do.
No, you can't stop. I mean,
just gotta keep going.
Forbidden wasn't even over, and I had the landing page for Cosmic Wars already up, right?
Yeah. Sam will say here like, "Yo, man, I hate Kickstarter." By the way, my landing page is up. Follow that bad boy right now.
I get, it's like, you get pissed off with the system, but you still got to work the system, right? It's like, it is what it is. Like, I can't stop, won't stop.
Love it, man.
Even though I hate working on Kickstarter, but I gotta use it, right? It's like, because it's not only that, it's almost like creating a comic book, designing all the graphics and the thumbnails for Kickstarter, and designing the page and
the psychology behind it, right? Like, what's gonna make people kind of scroll through this thing and pull the trigger, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and it's a full-time job just designing a Kickstarter page, right? It's and that usually takes me about a week just to design all the templates and get up all and determine the price points and the goals and the packages and all that stuff. It's like, oh, good Lord, right?
How many tiers? Is this tier good? Should I do this one? What am I going to add in this one? Yeah, what's going to be the stretch goal? What am I going to add? There's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. So, and I think I don't, sometimes people don't even understand that, right? It's like, you got to do all of that stuff and you got to promote it. Not only that, I mean, when I looked at it, it was 100 different graphics that I posted on social media over the 30 days of the Kickstarter, right? So it's like typing up all the summaries and the things and trying to get people excited, and all that's work, bro. And there's no check coming in. There's no money coming in for that, right? And it's your time and it's your money, and it's an investment towards your dream. And sometimes it just doesn't pay off. Right. Yeah. But you can't just give up. You got to get back in the game, get on that saddle and try again. For sure. I just wanted to give a big shout out, because this is one of the important things I think that we have to remember is, like, when we're doing a Kickstarter and you couldn't do it because work and all that stuff, going on some of our, fellow, podcasters shows, I think is important as well. I want big shout out to JD Calderon and his podcast, Raphael, who's right there in the chat, his podcast I was on, Barney Smith, Story Comic, great podcast, Cody with Keeping It Geekly, freaking awesome podcast, Kevin Davis. I mean, there's so many of you guys that opened your streams to me and let me get on there. Lori Calcaterra, Path of the Pale Rider, big shout out to her with the Morning Brew. She she's like, come on the show. So yeah, big shout out to everybody who basically said, yeah, come on and promote, because we know how it is to do this, and so it's important.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, I wish, the hard part is work, and I respect these creators enough to not want to tie up a slot when my job changes something and I have to travel, and then I have to cancel on them. So I don't want to take the risk of canceling, because it's not a good look on me. So out of respect, I won't book stuff that I know I won't be able to commit to 100%. So I don't want to waste anybody's time. I mean, when Ralphie hit me up, I was like, I knew I can make that one, right? So he was like, yo, when can you do it? And he gave me an option. I was like, I could do this day. And so I was able to make it, JD Calderon's, I was able to make it.
Yeah, their shows are a little later in the evening. Yeah. It's the daytime shows, because Kevin goes on, in case he's talking, he's going to be on Kevin Davis's podcast in December. That's awesome, Carrie. Let me know what day. I'll tune in. Lori does her morning, the morning break. So it's tough. We remember when we had that show on Tuesday. No, was it Tuesday mornings? We had a morning show.
Yeah.
It was
Wednesday. Was it Wednesday or Thursday morning? It was Thursday morning.
It was Thursdays. We used to do Thursday mornings, and we used to, we used to have our own thing in the morning. And then you started work. This is when you were doing the Propreneur thing.
Yeah, but to the question from Ed, what do you think of Kickstarter coaches? Here's the problem that I have with those guys. You know, they like to give you insight, but it doesn't pay off 100%, and they don't even promote it. So you're paying them for information, but they don't use their network to say, "Here's a client of mine, check it out," right? Unless you got that part of your package deal. The stuff that they give you, you can get on YouTube. You can get on listen to Comics Launch, that podcast. I listen to it every Sundays. They post a new episode and they interview different creators. I listen to that. I go to Launch Boom. I get insights from there. So the information out there is free for you, and all you have to do is actually study some of these Kickstarters that are successful, and look how they design their pages. Look how they set up their tiers. Look at all that stuff, and then search for them on social media and see what they put in their posts and how they go out and communicate to the audience and all that stuff. So the information is there. You don't have to pay for it if you want to, but you got to do your homework.
Yeah. 1219. So for those, Kerry's going to be on Kevin Davis' show, 1219. Yeah, and some of those coaches can be expensive.
Yeah.
So 1K, damn, 1K, bro. Like, what, how much? 1K.
You gotta guarantee me $10,000 in return.
1K, bro. That's
Hell
insane. But and the other thing is, free info for sure. I wouldn't pay 1K for a campaign that's only gonna make 2K. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
No sense. The other thing is, you got to also remember what may work for somebody may not work for you.
Yeah.
So it's all you're learning as you go. So like they may have an incredible campaign and it looks amazing, and then you try the exact same thing and it doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
So you got to do what works for you. You know what I mean? You got to come in there with kind of like a mind, like, okay, what's actually kind of has worked for me. Let me see if I can try that. Doing this. So yeah,
I can tell you right now, I mean, all you have to do is, like, one of the things, all you have to do is you can get also that information on Google, because now Google search engine uses AI, right? You can just type in. He's like, or you can just put the summary of your book, right, and say, here's my book. How should I market and promote this book on social media? And it's going to give you all the steps, right? And you can ask it for information, right? Because what it's going to do is going to pull from projects that are similar to yours that have been very successful, right? And then you take it with a grain of salt, and you take what works and what you think is going to work for you, and you go from there, But I mean, in today's day and age, and it sucks to say, but a lot of these guys are just taking the information that's already free, and they're just tailoring it and coming off as experts. But you can be the expert yourself just by doing the homework.
The coaches, you mean?
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And so when you look at some of these guys that come out of the gate, their first campaign, and they did $50,000, they paid a company to help them with that, right? So they probably paid a few grand to get, or they're giving a percentage of their Kickstarter, right? So like 10% of my earnings go to this guy, right? So.
Truth be told, I learned so much from you dudes, Raphael, about the whole Kickstarter experience and strategy. Thanks, Ed. Dude, your book was awesome, bro. I can't wait to see where you take the book. So for those who don't know, End of Zed is a great book, by the way. Google it. Check it out. And Raph, you've been amazing, dude. Raphael doesn't stop promoting other people's stuff. I can't wait to see your stuff. So as soon as Raphael's stuff comes out, he better have like 1,500 people back in his project, because all the stuff that he does for everybody else, bro, I'm hoping you freaking kill it.
Dude, and that's the part that's also scary, because remember Mark Torres, right? He came from the radio. That's
another one. Mark Torres.
He gave access to hundreds and hundreds of independents, but they didn't all show up to support him when he did his first book ever, right? So it's like, so that's the scary part too, because I mean, he gave us that first shot when he had the Comic Novice radio show. Right, we drove up to Long Island, went into the station, and we were, on a show. And he gave us a voice when we broke out into the comic game. And then he always brought us back, and then he moved on to the next stage of. He's always invited. When I left comics for 10 years, and I announced I was coming back, he goes, "Hey, you want to make your announcement on my show?" I was like, "Sure." I drove to Long Island, went on the radio, right, but he's another guy who'll give you the shirt off his back. But
awesome. Mark is awesome. Yeah. No, absolutely. Funny. So Ed said, even though Rafi made him wash his car just to get on the show, didn't know that was a thing. All right, Rafi.
Wow. Wow, Rafi Duggan. Oh, good.
Yo, so
They gonna
Raphael, good
eat
point.
your cornbread.
That's your cornbread, dude. I thought Mark was a done deal. I was so surprised when his book fought so hard to fund. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I thought so too. I thought
It
everybody
was
was gonna come out and
insane.
show him love. And damn,
Oh yeah, and it's a cold world out there, brother. It's a cold
it
world.
is, man. People forget short-term memory, bro.
Cold world, dog.
Short-term memory.
Yeah, man. No, but big shout out to all of those shows, Mark and Raphael and all the guys who really, really, really support the indie scene, man. You guys really do it, and I'm glad that you guys can come on. Like, listen, when you're ready to do it, come on the show. I'm glad to have you on here, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the show. Speaking of the show, Sam, who do we have next week? We have a show next week.
Yes, we on November 25th. We have David Starr.
David Starr. It's going to be our Thanksgiving special.
Yeah, we got David Starr. It just looks he has his website. Let's see what's on the website.
David Starr next week. Make sure you join us Tuesday, November. What is it? 25th.
He's got A to Z, Baby, Animal, and Scientist. Looks like a children's book.
All right.
Yeah.
It's on. So Tuesday.
Yep.
It's on. It's on and popping. All right, Sammy. Well,
popping.
I gotta get some work done. I got some books to some PDFs.
Nice. Fake news.
Ready.
Fake news.
Listen, man. The work doesn't stop over here.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
You know what I mean? So we got to get it going. But no, we'll be back next week. We're going to be back with a guest. We'll have a topic. We'll talk a little more.
Yeah, man. If there's a topic that you'd like us to cover next week on, let us know.
Yeah. Frustrating when you get a high backing from someone who turns out to be a coach who pulls the backing. Wow, that's terrible, Kerry. You see that shit, Sam?
Yeah, it's funny because I don't know how many you did, but only one person hasn't completed the funding. So that's pretty cool. Everybody else, everything cleared, but only one person hasn't cleared yet. But that happens, right? It happens the last minute when Kickstarter goes to collect the funds.
But did you see what he said? It was a coach pledged a lot of money, pledged a lot of money to the campaign. When Kerry, whoever it is, don't buy into what they're trying to sell, they pull that out, and now you're back down. That's crazy.
That's a bribe, bro. That's extortion.
That guy should be arrested.
That's man,
crazy, bro.
You gotta call the feds, bro.
Wow.
That's extortion.
Call the feds. And I'm not a big fan of Pavo, but I'll eat it. You know what I mean? It's Thanksgiving. We'll do it. Matt, it was a pleasure having you on, my brother. Thank you so much for coming on. And Kerry, man, that's crazy, dude. I hate when people do that poll BS. Yeah, brother. But we'll be back next week. We'll talk. If you guys, have a topic you guys want us to talk about, let us know, and then we'll do our thing.
Yeah, man. And don't forget, again, Cosmic Wars comes out in February. Sign up today, and I'll send you a free digital copy of the first sketchbook that I did for the series many moons ago. So sign up for Cosmic Wars today, launching February 10th on Kickstarter. Launch party right here on Catch the Craze podcast. And it's the first book that I actually entered the game with. And so it's all remastered, redone, redrawn, rewritten, everything. So it's all new. So check it out. So thank you, everybody, so much for watching us. We are the longest running independent comic book podcast in the game, founded in 2005 for Indies by Indies. When we grow, the independent community grows, and we cannot do it without your support. So please like, subscribe, and share, and let everybody know where you found us. And we appreciate every single one of you tonight. Thank you so much to our guest, Matt Forsyth. Go ahead and check out his work. Go to his website. The link's in the chat. And thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week. With that said, I am Sam, the Crazy Man Vera.
George, the Dreamer Medina.
And we are out. It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. Say my name, right? This is what you were thinking? Oh, he described me. He said, I'm the
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Candy girl.